Hello, I'm Cheesy.
I'm Adobo.
And this is Cheesy Adobo TV. We talk about
games,
comics,
anime,
movies,
TV shows,
and Pinoy geek culture.
Welcome to episode 1,
where we talk about
what we love about Trese. Alright, so this is our inaugural episode.
Yay!
Yeah, and we've chosen to talk about a comic book that will soon premiere on Netflix as of this recording.
Yes, quite possibly Filipino time. By midnight this coming June 11.
Yeah, June 11. We're going to see that comic book turned into an anime, and we have no idea how it's going to turn out. We're rooting for its success.
My God, how far it's come.
Yeah, that's true. But for those who don't know what Trese is about
and are hopefully very curious,
well, we're going to share with you what we like about the comic book, what drew us in, and what keeps us reading.
Yes.
Okay, so admittedly, I just got into Trese recently, so I actually read several volumes of Trese in about 2 or 3 sittings, and I'm pretty happy with it. But what about the stats? When did it come out?
Trese first came out in Ashcan form. Oh my God, I still have my copy of it somewhere. It came out in Ashcan form sometime in 2005 in one of the in I think it was Comic-Con. Courtesy of it came from the pen of Budget Pan, and the illustrations of Aigio Baldissimo, and
2005.
I know.
That's what, 16 years ago.
I guess I cannot math.
2021, yeah, 16 years ago. That means a lot of the fans of the comic book weren't even born yet.
Well, now the fans are growing strong, and they're incredibly prolific, incredibly loyal, and they're just there and showering all the love on this wonderful work. So
let's talk about the marketing of the Netflix show, just to get it out of the way. Right.
My God.
What I found clever is that they made use of virtual reality.
Right.
So, for those of you who are not aware, Netflix has put up billboards, right? Billboards of Trese along the highways of Manila, and after a few days, the billboards were defaced. There was graffiti all over the place. And Cheesy and I began to wonder, is this real? Did they really do this? Or did somebody who hates the comic book and the production do this on purpose? But then we looked at
for the clues.
Yeah, we looked at the graffiti.
Right.
And it did not look like local graffiti. It did not use the same language. It did not use the same idiom.
Like for some billboards, in Filipino, you had graffiti essentially that said, "Syudad namin to, layas," which translated just means, "This is our city, leave, GTFO." And the billboards were slashed, and Trese's image herself was defaced, and of course, I mean, it's going to be a shock to most people, but when you think about it, especially with the way the trailer came out, you have these scenes where the MRT skids to a halt, the MRT dies to a halt, it screeched to a halt in the middle of...
So the trailer said it ground to a halt at Guadalupe Station.
Okay,
which is very significant, actually.
And, you have all these aswang and maligno coming out and pretty much laying waste to the passengers. So that pretty much keeps in theme with what's going on with the billboards. Now,
no, just to inject though, I've seen graffiti across the city over the decades, and I have never come across graffiti that said, "Get out, this is our city." Right? Oh. The closest I've seen was during my high school days, where the activists, the extreme left, would demand the closure of U.S. bases.
Hold on. Yeah. And when exactly were you a high schooler?
A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away.
Okay, mystery man.
Yes, all right. But full disclosure, I was in college during the 1986 revolution, okay? So, yes, I'm that old, but I make no apologies for it.
And we love him for it.
So, back then, the only graffiti that I would see that demanded people leave would be the local leftist activists addressing the American bases, right? Now that the American bases are gone, and I think that was back in 1990, there's no more graffiti of that nature. Now the graffiti, the messaging of the graffiti has changed. So that's why when I saw the message on the billboard of Trese, I began to suspect that maybe this was part of their marketing campaign.
Very clever, actually.
Right? Very clever. Very clever. Especially when they add the virtual reality.
Oh my gosh!
Tell me about that. You saw that, right?
Yes, it was amazing. And super shout out to the fans, to the eagle-eyed fans who were very quick to snap these up and take videos of it. At night, at least from what I remember, at night, there were videos of the billboards getting slashed up by essentially our local monsters. They were getting slashed up by manananggal. There were videos of CCTV footage that looked like there was this little tiyanak, this little ghoul that came up on all fours and started slashing at her posters. And of course, it got really creepy when these monsters started looking the video taker straight in the eye.
Now, just for those of you who are not familiar with terms like manananggal or tiyanak or tikbalang or aswang or maligno, we're going to have an episode where we explore those creatures, those are names of priesties, those things that go bump in the night in the context of Trese. So just watch out for that.
Yes, stay tuned, and this is a great reason for you to like and subscribe to the channel.
That's true. Now, okay, so we've named the comic book, but we really haven't told them what the comic book's all about.
Yes, that is true.
So what's the premise of the comic book?
Okay, the premise of Trese, essentially is, oh my goodness, how do we encapsulate all this wonderfulness in one sentence?
Police procedural with supernatural elements.
Okay, I concede. I do remember introducing the comic to a number of my foreign friends, and of course they'd ask me what it was about, and essentially I end up saying that, this is if Batman were a woman and she had two badass bodyguards who pretty much took on the creepy crawlies and things that go bump in the night when police cases take a turn for the weird. That's the most I will all love to Bill Finger. But we have our own awesome detective, so.
Police procedural with supernatural elements.
Yes, that's true.
Alright, good. The marketing was clever, and it set up expectations for the show. We can't wait to watch it.
But we should do a deep dive into the source material itself.
Right. The comic book is a delicious blend of history, mythology, and urban legend, and yet it manages to tell a story all its own.
And that's what the next episode is going to be all about.
And that's a wrap.
Thank you for joining us. We hope you had as much fun watching this video as we did making it.
For more content, hit like and subscribe.
And remember to hit that bell icon so you won't miss a single episode. We'll see you around on our next video.
Bye!
That was cute though.